What's up, y'all? It's your boy, J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. We're going to talk about the upcoming fights that are going to take place this Saturday, but first we're going to do a recap on the fights that took place over the past weekend. IBF lightweight champion Robert Easton Jr. when he stepped into the ring against former world champion Javier Fortuna. This was a matchup right here that was a very close fight. Some people called it a robbery. I didn't. I thought it was a very good fight, a close fight. I like the work that Javier Fortuna did in this fight. He was able to rip off some very quick shots, land some clean punches, and definitely outwork Robert Easton Jr. Now, Robert didn't use the jab effectively in this fight, trying to create distance. He didn't set up his shots. He did land some good body punches in this fight, and he also landed that right hand. But he was just throwing one shot at a time, trying to look for the big knockout punch, and it didn't come. This fight went 12 rounds, and Fortuna was making it a very tough fight for this guy. This is the second fight in a row that Robert Easton Jr. did not look that impressive in the ring. And even though Easton's a very good fighter, you know, he's still in the development stage. I know he's a world champion right now, but it's going to get harder and harder once he steps up his level of competition. And if these guys get better, you know, he's going to have to come up with something better than what he's doing in the last two performances that he's had. This was a very close fight. Two of the judges scored it a 1-point victory for each fighter, and the other third judge scored it a 3-point victory for Easton. And I got to tell you, you know, that was a little bit of a wide score right there with that judge, but nevertheless, he got the victory win. I believe that it was a close enough fight to be a draw. It could have went either way. I'm not mad at the decision. Robert Easton escapes with a decision victory, and he called out Jorge Linares and also Mikey Garcia. He says he doesn't want a rematch with Fortuna or any other fighter out there. He wants these two guys to unify the division. I commend him for that. He's a champion. He wants to fight the other champions. He wants to unify. That's what champions do. But to be honest, I don't see him beating any one of these guys. I think Jorge Linares is a very good, skillful boxer with quick hand speed and good, decent punching power. And I think he will school Robert Easton Jr. quite easily in that fight. He's definitely a better fighter than a guy like Javier Fortuna, and I think he'll give him a whole lot more problems than Fortuna did. Now, a guy like Mikey Garcia, come on, man, this is just another level for Robert Easton. I think Robert Easton, he has that height and reach, but he doesn't utilize it very well. And a guy like Mikey Garcia is a very smart guy with a very good ring IQ. I think he'll take him apart, outbox him, and definitely has the punching power to hurt Robert Easton Jr., possibly even stop him in a fight. So I don't see him going up against either one of these guys anytime soon. I think he needs to fight very good competition, continue to work on his craft, continue to get better and get past these tough fights and learn from these tough fights before he even steps into the upper class against guys like Jorge Linares and Mikey Garcia. Now, moving along to the main event of the evening was Errol Spence Jr. defending his IBF welterweight title against Lamont Peterson. This was a spectacular performance by Spence. He's something very special to watch. He showed a good chin in here. He got caught with some good shots by Lamont Peterson. Tremendous heart in Lamont Peterson. But he kind of surprised me. I thought he would actually box more and then go into a slugfest, go toe-to-toe in the later rounds, but he actually decided to stay in the pocket throughout the whole entire fight and stand right in front of Errol Spence, and that was a big mistake because Spence, a tremendous body puncher, put on some hellacious body work, just destroying this man and landing some beautiful combination shots and just teeing away on Lamont Peterson. Peterson did not get on his toes, did not try to move, did not try to create space. He definitely showed the heart of a lion, but he was in out of his league against a guy they called the Truth, and that's Errol Spence Jr. Just like I predicted in my last video that Barry Hunter, the trainer of Lamont Peterson, would possibly stop this fight if he saw his man getting beat up, and that's exactly what he saw. He saw a guy in Lamont Peterson that looked like he wanted to quit in that fight, but his heart did not let him quit. He wanted to continue, but Barry Hunter said enough is enough, and he did the right thing by stopping this fight towards the 8th round. And another victory for Errol Spence Jr. Something for the fans to rave about. A lot of people are loving this kid. They want to see this kid in a big fight against Keith one-time Thurman. That's the matchup that the boxing fans really want, but it's a fight that's not going to happen this year. Unfortunately, I believe Keith Thurman is going to fight Jesse Vargas sometime in April, and then towards the summer, he's going to have his WBC mandatory against Sean Porter, and that's a great matchup. The first fight was a very good, thrilling fight, and it's a fight that fight fans are going to enjoy, but it's a fight that people really don't want to see again. They want to see the fight against Errol Spence, and I don't blame them. He's going to take care of that mandatory, and then towards the end of the year, hopefully we can have that super fight matchup between these two to unify the titles in the welterweight division. But I believe he's going to have to take care of another mandatory in the WBA organization, and that's going to be possibly the winner of Lucas Matthysse against the Thailand fighter that he's going up against this weekend. But the way boxing politics go, you never know what's going to happen. Like Keith Thurman did say in one of his previous early videos that he's not going to possibly see that fight until 2019. And it's a matchup that is just going to have the boxing fans salivating for, you know, just like it did with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev, like Triple G and Canelo, and also, you know, Mayweather and Pacquiao. We had to wait for those fights, but those fights definitely happened. It's not happening right now like the boxing fans demanded, but it's definitely going to happen. Now, moving along to the fights that are going to be taking place this weekend, we have the Cruiserweight Tournament Final Four. Undefeated fighters. All these guys are hard-hitting punchers, and you have a total combined record of 83 wins and 68 knockouts. That's just astonishing when you put it on paper. These guys are very good fighters. And up to bat this weekend is Ukrainian Olympic gold medalist and WBO cruiserweight champion Oleksandr Usyk taking on WBC cruiserweight champion, undefeated hard-hitting puncher Mairis Briedis. This is a great matchup. Excellent matchup. I can't wait for this fight. It's going to be a very explosive fight. Both guys are very good, undefeated fighters. And I see this fight playing out with Usyk being the winner of this fight. Usyk is the guy with the quicker hand speed. He has the better footwork. He's a very good boxer, you know, a good technician in there, and he has good punching power as well. He has some pop in those shots. Even though he's had only 13 professional fights, he broke the record of Evander Holyfield winning the cruiserweight title with just 10 pro fights, and he was an outstanding amateur fighter that won Olympic gold. And he's going up against a guy that's a one-punch knockout artist. Briedis is a guy that puts a lot of pressure. He comes forward, and he's also a very good body puncher. If you've seen this guy deliver that left hook to the body, it is a sweet liver shot. And I can't wait to see if he can land that shot against Usyk, and if Usyk can really take that punch. Because if he can, I think Usyk probably wear his man down and stop him in the later rounds, round 9 or round 10, or go to the decision if Briedis has a good chin, and it could go to a unanimous decision victory to Usyk. But I see Usyk as the guy that's going to win this whole entire tournament. I think he's the most talented out of all these fighters in this tournament, and I believe that he's going to be the ultimate winner when it's all said and done. But I can't wait for this fight. Now, also that night, we're going to have on HBO a double hitter. It's the return of the machine, Lucas Matthysse, one of my favorite fighters, going up against a Thailand hard-hitting puncher in Kiram. This guy is an unknown fighter. I can't really give you a great assessment on him because I haven't really watched him. I've seen clips here and there, but this is a very big, strong welterweight. He's undefeated. He's young, you know, very unknown. He hasn't fought anybody in the caliber of a Lucas Matthysse, but he definitely is a hard-hitting knockout puncher. This guy has some serious knockout power, and just like other fighters that we never knew before they came to the United States, guys like Manny Pacquiao, guys like Marcus Maidana, these guys fought fighters in their countries where they were able to destroy very easily. And then when they came to the United States, nobody really knew anything about them until they faced some tough competition and they proved their worth. And this is what this guy is coming here for. This guy is coming to prove his worth against a solid, legitimate, welterweight, hard-hitting puncher in Lucas Matthysse. And if he can make his mark in here, he's going to be definitely one to watch out for in the near future if he could get past Lucas Matthysse. But Matthysse is expected as the favorite to win this fight with his explosive dynamite knockout power. He's bringing his two-fisted hand punching power to the welterweight division of 147 pounds to really throw himself in the mixture of a loaded division, because this division has so many stars, so many big names, and great matchups for him. Let's hope that Golden Boy Promotions can make deals with Haymon and get these fights together, because I would love to see Lucas Matthysse tested against the elite fighters in the welterweight division. If Lucas wins this title, he gets right into the mixture, and hopefully he becomes a mandatory for a guy like Keith Thurman for later on in the year. I would like to see two fighters that I like a lot match up against each other because those are two explosive knockout punches. And that will be one fun fight to see Keith Thurman and Lucas Matthysse get it on. Now, also on that card, you have lightweight champion Jorge Linares defending his Ring Magazine belt and his WBA lightweight title against Philippine No Mercy Machado Gesta. This is a fight matchup between two guys that are very quick, very good explosive punching power. Gesta is a guy that has lost before, but he's a young fighter. He's hungry. He wants it. He has a very good trainer in Freddie Roach in his camp that's going to improve his skills, and also that knows a guy like Jorge Linares very well and is going to come up with a very good game plan because he knows the strengths and weaknesses of Jorge Linares. Freddie Roach is a very good trainer, and we've seen what he's done with good fighters like Miguel Cotto and Manny Pacquiao, and I look for Gesta to put on a very challenging performance, competitive performance against a guy like Jorge Linares. Linares, the more skillful fighter, the guy that likes to work on his toes, great movement, has good defense, but he's also a guy that cuts very easily and also has a suspect chin. But Linares has that punching power to match a guy like Gesta. So this is a very intriguing matchup. It's one that could change the landscape of the lightweight division. We know that Mikey Garcia and Golden Boy have been in negotiation talks, even though Mikey has a fight coming up already set in the junior welterweight class for a title shot opportunity for the IBF crown. We know that there's a possible matchup that he would come back down to 135 pounds to take on Jorge Linares for a title unification match sometime later on in the year. And that's a matchup that fight fans would definitely love to see. It's an excellent matchup between two highly skilled, very smart fighters with great ring IQs. And I can't wait for that matchup to take place. So let's hope that Jorge Linares could get past this guy Gesta this weekend with a good performance. I believe that if he could weather the storm and not get knocked out in the early rounds, that he could win a 12th round decision victory and retain his WBA lightweight title and look for the bigger match down the road against Mikey Garcia. But that's my final fight analysis on the upcoming fights that are going to take place this weekend. Tune into HBO for Lucas Matthysse and Jorge Linares and their big fights. And also, I would like to thank everyone for tuning into this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please put your email information in. Hit that little red subscribe button so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Please follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Don't forget to hit that like button and that share button. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching and please subscribe.